Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Reverse 1999. For today's video, we're heading on into a showdown in Chinatown, and we're going to continue our story at part 6. Well, part 3 for this video, but we're going into 6 SC06 for the stage Secret Warrant. So I actually have a star here because I already did it, yes, but that was a funny story. Actually, well, kind of had the audio turned off for the game and went in there and thought I was stuck in there and should have just exited. But I read the whole damn thing myself, and that was awkward, and I needed to start over. So here we are. Let's go through this one as efficiently as possible, but still enjoy it. And I cannot skip it and have me just reading everything. That's nowhere near as good. Voice acting is too good, so let's pick up here where we left off.
Des armoires et encore des armoires.
And do let me know in the comments below if you've been following my playthroughs. Do you like if we translate the English into English? What things are being said from like Chinese or French or whatever it may be? Let me know, because yeah, I'm just letting it play for the experience and only reading the like narrator type part.
Qui est responsable ici? J'avais l'impression que c'était un département important, non? Où est la sécurité?
But I'd be okay with reading whatever they're saying as well. The ever-curious Matilda weaves her way through the rows of filing cabinets. She has read about this department in books detailing the Foundation's history.
Le département contient tous les objets connus qui ont produit des phénomènes dangereux ou mystérieux liés à l'arcane. Certains disent même qu'il contient chaque mystère arcanique résolu et non résolu, jamais enregistré. Et bien sûr, le plus grand mystère de tous les temps, la tempête, les défis toujours. Comme c'est le cas pour nous tous, il semble que chaque département sont désormais tournés vers l'étude de la tempête. Il y a peu de temps pour ces énigmes plus triviales.
Her footsteps echo through the empty department, and the odd sense that she's being watched settles over her. Silence can be comforting, but it can also be unsettling. A breeding ground for loneliness, dredging up a long-buried unease.
Je me demande comment va maman. Madame Z a dit qu'elle la surveillerait, mais toujours pas de nouvelles.
She finds herself pausing, her gaze lowering to the ground. But only for a moment.
Non! Ressaisis-toi, Mathilda Boaniche! C'est ta maman, la plus grande mère de tous les temps! Qu'est-ce qui pourrait bien avoir mal tourné?
I love the voice acting, it's so charming. With renewed confidence, she picks up her pace, her pale ponytail bouncing behind her.
Maintenant, sa fille la plus remarquable est en train d'accomplir une mission importante pour la Fondation. Contrairement à certains autres qui ont consacré leur temps précieux à des vacances au nom de réveiller les jeux d'Uluru.
Love it. Oh, and just a quick note, guys, if you see me rubbing my eye a bit more, or I look a little mad today, the facial paralysis is annoying as hell still, and yeah, my eye's just a little sensitive right now, so that's all.
On espère tout de même qu'ils réussiront à rendre ces jeux aussi grandioses et sublimes qu'ils disent qu'il était dans le passé lointain, ou sinon...
Just as she passes another set of shelves, something catches her eye.
Everything's fine here. Now on to the next row. Oh, this is one of my favorites.
What is it?
An excellent question, miss. See that serial number on it? AN003. A water sample from the Peilin River. Number 003. There are hundreds of thousands of samples, collections, and records here. But no matter who you ask, this particular one will always make their top list. Collected in a remote city in China. When the investigators arrived, they found that it had been isolated in time. All its inhabitants dressed and lived as if they were from the late Tang dynasty. They were completely unaware of the state of the world beyond their lands, as if trapped in a time capsule from the forgotten past.
That's cool.
Oh.
The liquid inside the vial is clear and pristine, less like river water and more like perfectly liquefied gemstone. Matilda can't help but stare in fascination.
But how is that possible? Did no one ever leave the city? Not even to travel or do business?
You're a clever one, miss. Yes, it seems the investigators were confused too. In the end, they realized that an arcane skill was affecting the Paylin River. Sadly, it seems the arcane energy was dissipating by the time they arrived, and they weren't able to figure out its cause. This is the only sample they were able to recover. Laplace has been begging for access to it. They're eager to unravel the mystery.
Wow, that is indeed a most intriguing claim.
It's not just a claim, miss. It's real. Wait. Miss Matilda Boaniche?
The careless young staff member only now seems to fully recognize Matilda's presence.
You've heard of me?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't heard of the Boaniches and their star investigator daughter? Didn't you know that everyone's been talking about you since you joined the Foundation? Actually, my mother and I went to visit you. Oh, but I haven't introduced myself. Constance Scott. I'm a fellow graduate from SPDM. Of course, now, I'm just a record keeper here.
It doesn't seem like false modesty. Every top student of SPDM was granted the honor of having their name inscribed in the school's Hall of Fame, but Matilda has never once come across the name Scott.
Actually, I've been looking for you as well, Miss Scott. Commissioner Pedra asked me to give this to you.
A letter? What's it about?
I couldn't say, but he had a most unpleasant look about him as he gave it to me. Then he asked me to review my report on the events in San... Are you alright? Your face has grown quite pale.
I'm fine. I just have a bad feeling I know what I'm about to read.
Oh boy. Having bid farewell to Matilda, Scott makes her way to the secluded room within the department, the letter clutched in her hand. Why are they calling her Scott? Her name is Constance. Scott's her last name. That's not what English people do. It's weird. Okay, it's fine. I mean, Poitier as an officer, because they go by last names, makes sense. But like a student or a fellow staff member, she'd be Constance, not Scott. Bad translation, I guess, because I know sometimes different cultures refer differently. For last name versus first name, whatever. Okay, she carefully closes the door behind her and with one last glance around the room, opens the envelope. A single piece of paper floats out from within, one carrying a heavy message.
The investigation has been concluded. Unfortunately, their findings were exactly as we feared. The suspect must be apprehended ASAP, and all efforts must be made to retrieve this arcane object before either cause further trouble. You must leave immediately. Her last reported sighting was in Chinatown, Los Angeles.
All right. Off to Chinatown. Street during the day.
Sorry, could you say that again? Ji Ma Wu? And that means paper horse dance?
喂，老細，今日仲有冇燒肉啊？揞埋晒啦！今日切條叉燒，整多半隻白切雞啊！
Wow. Daddy, look! There's a dragon on the floor! That's totally cool!
People speaking many languages meet and weave around each other on the crowded avenue. Liang wanders among them, stopping every now and then to take it all in.
Welcome to Chinatown. How do you like it?
Yes, it does give me a certain sense of nostalgia. Do you come here often, Miss Poitier?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, outside of work, it's been a while. 3 years or so.
Only once in 3 years? I don't think you can consider that often.
Well, he might have met with work, though. Poitier waves a hand, glancing down at the lively streets on either side.
Yeah, well, it's a fun place for a day trip, sure. But things are different when you put on the uniform. Remember that private eye back at the hospital, Joe? You can get an impression about how people see the police around here from him.
You mean that the residents here don't cooperate with the Arcane Affairs Division?
Well, it's complicated. There's a lot of language and cultural barriers. Folks here just don't turn to the police to solve their problems. Even when they do, we feel like we have no idea where to start. The thing that surprised me the most was how arcanists of all kinds and humans live so closely together here. I guess it's the same in China, isn't it? I remember this one time, we had a call about a break-in. When we got there, it turned out the shopkeeper was a big white bird as tall as I am. And this other time, we're chasing down a lost puppet for some lame-ass puppeteer. Anyways, so I asked an old lady if she'd seen a doll nearby. You know what she said? Well, I don't know what she said, but she started going off about me being a Laowai. Now give me some credit. I might not speak Chinese, but I do know Laowai means foreigner. So excuse me? Like, I'm American, baby. Born and raised.
Sorry.
Liang knows she should remain serious, but she can't help but be tickled by Poitier's indignation. Poitier shoots her a glance, but then heaves a quiet sigh.
That's not even the half of it. The thing is, I don't hate it here. Although I can't say I love Chinatown very much either. To be honest, most of us on the force haven't found a way to make inroads with the people here.
If that's the problem, why don't we try to understand things step by step? Maybe then we can start fresh? We're here anyway.
And someone that the Chinese community might respect. Liang turns back and examines the archway at the beginning of the road. They have already been in this other world for a while.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. If we're gonna get anywhere, then we'll have to start here. But we need to check another task off our list first.
Oh boy. Chinatown Alley. Daytime. They cross the street and turn into a narrow alleyway.
Should be right there, down the alley. Feeling excited, rookie? We're about to pay a visit to your favorite director, Noir.
Favorite? What? No. I just like the movies, that's all. I've got no specific feelings for the director.
It's true. I wouldn't say I even would know what who my favorite director is, honestly. Liang can't hold back her rebuttal, but under Poitier's teasing glance, she stops herself.
Maybe just a little. I am curious about the mind of the director behind such great movies. But this is strictly a police matter, so I will act with professional self-restraint. Actually, I've made a request with the Vigil's Intelligence Branch for a file on Director Noah and any related events. We should get it soon.
You've got a file on her already? Feels like you're going a bit overboard, rookie. It wasn't actually the director that called us. Her assistant did. Later on, Noir herself contacted us and said the so-called threat was just a misunderstanding. Normally, we'd leave it at that. There's too much real crime out there to bother with a case where the victim doesn't think anything happened. Still, according to dispatch, the assistant was real spooked over it. The operator got the feeling we should give it a second look, so they kept the file open.
Makes sense. To be fair, is that the case in real police work too? Like, if you call in for like violence, domestic violence, or like whatever type claim, and you're like, and you call back, never mind, it's fine. They still come because your partner or whatever is involved could be the one who's silencing you and making you call them back. So they check things out to make sure it's okay.
But look, this is just a follow-up and an excuse to come down here. So keep your mind on the real mission.
Got it, ma'am.
The scene from the Division of Arcane Affairs yesterday flashes across Liang's mind. After leaving the hospital, they immediately return to report their findings and highlight the dangers lurking behind Chinatown's strange events. But the higher-ups had a different take on things.
It's been reassigned to the local precinct.
Poitier stands in the doorway to the deputy chief's office and shakes her head. Liang immediately catches the subtle shift in her expression.
What's wrong? What does that mean?
Nothing, kid. It's just most of the force aren't trained to deal with arcane crimes. Don't get me wrong. They're good, capable officers, but I'm worried. If this was any other case, I'd keep my mouth shut.
Sorry, my
but come
space
on,
wasn't working.
this is clearly our department. This case has arcanum all over it. I don't think they know what they're getting into.
Oh, so they're talking about the other case. Yeah, the big one. For a brief moment, neither speaks. Then Liang's eyes light up.
Miss Poitier, I have an idea. What if we...
Take this other case that's related. Kinda.
We prioritize Noir's case, which just happens to put us in Chinatown, so there's no harm in asking a few questions about our other investigation. I knew there was a little rebel in you, Liang. You like to bend the rules, just not break them. Am I right?
Not necessarily, I don't think.
Not too often. Actually, I think we're obliged to take Miss Noah's case seriously, even if it wouldn't help us with the other case. Please wait a minute. It's my communication device.
Liang pulls out the communication device, often criticized by Foundation employees for being too bulky. Poitier leans in to get a better look. Her chameleon, a calm, perched on her chest, stretches its neck in curiosity.
FPF-1 portable contact device activated. You've received a new message. Downloading attachment. Download complete. Please check your mailbox.
Message? What's it about?
It's like a fancy cell phone, not a cell phone giant computer thing. Before cell phone. Wait, this is like what, 1991 someone said, or something like that?
It's from the intelligence department. They've found her records. Miss Noah is registered with the Foundation. There might be something in her files that can provide us some clues.
She opens the pinned email and scans the attached files. Her expression turns serious.
Wait, is this...
Ah! Okay, now we continue, for real, for real. Okay, there's a little thing to read, so let's try to do that. Where is it? Oh, it's down here. Okay. There it is. Piece together. Humans are natural editors, piecing together an ideal memory from mere fragments. Reconstructing idealized memories. Although I don't usually keep a journal, I had to record today's encounter. I met with the great Matilda... I already forgot how they said their name. Anyway, I still remember... Sorry, the music is really loud. I still remember that summer, my mother lectured me for an hour before we left, and then another hour during the journey. I thought I was following her instructions perfectly. I was dressed perfectly neat. My greetings were memorized word for word. But the moment I met them, I froze solid, too nervous to say anything. Even adults could get stage fright. So how was it fair to give her own daughter the cold shoulder for it? A smile or a pat on the back from mother was all I needed to finish my greeting without fumbling. Thank goodness for Lady Barrel. She saw what happened, and her gracious words salvaged the situation. I didn't disappoint my mother after that. I'm sure of it because the rest of my memories of that place, or that visit, were very pleasant. Lady Burrell's warm smile and Matilda's energetic chatter. Matilda could be as noisy as she liked and still win her mother's approval. How I envied that so much. But Lady Burrell, for some reason, I can't remember what she looked like. Now I understand Latham's frustration. Being Matilda's mother, I can imagine a matured, refined version of Matilda, minus the childish energy. And alright, without the hooked nose. That's my mother's trait. Alright, Rookie Actor's Guide. Part 7 of this, SC07. Ooh, this is cool art. I like it.
Whose is this? It's blocking the camera sightlines. Get it out of the way. When are we coming in? We've been waiting forever. I wish I brought a chair.
What's going on? Are they filming another movie? Do you see anyone famous?
At the end of the alley, an old abandoned house filled with camera equipment, crew members and actors go about their business, drawing curious glances from passerbys. One particular figure catches Liang's attention, someone strangely familiar.
Oh, is that today's lunch? Mind if I take a look? Not now? Fine. That's that odd person I saw at the hospital. She works for the foundation.
Who? You mean Camerahead over there? What do you mean by odd? You think she could be a fake?
No, she's a real foundation member. I checked her information as well when I inquired about Miss Noah's file. Her name is Latham, an awakened arcanist, currently working in the Arcanum Containment Department. I wasn't given any access to her details, but based on our encounter, we should have no problem with her.
Good. Fine. I'm happy enough leaving the Awakened to their quirkiness.
She isn't their top priority, Lang knows that. She pushes aside the odd feeling for now, following Poitier through the crowd onto the set.
What do you mean she hasn't eaten yet? Director Noir's doctor was explicit that she's not allowed to skip any meals. Oh, hello officers. How can I help you?
The well-dressed woman walks over to them.
We received a call from a Lin Wang. Did you make a report about some unknown person making physical threats and stalking Miss Noir?
Yes, that's right. I'm Lin. But...
On hearing their purpose, Lin hesitates, glancing uncertainly over at one end of the set.
We did it! Abby, you're here!
Cut.
At this single command, the actors freeze in place.
No, I'm afraid we'll have to roll that again.
I'm sorry, Director.
The young actor's body stiffens instantly. Based on where he's standing, it's clear he's only a background character for this scene. Looks like we got our little artsy set shot. But Noir, seated in her throne-like wheelchair, the overseer of everything, didn't miss a mistake. No matter how minor
Not
it
at
was.
all. I just want more emotion this time. She's your true love, but you have been apart for a long time. Things are different now. She is. You are. Your reunion must be more complex. It isn't simply happiness you feel. You must mix that emotion with worry and guilt. She doesn't know anything about what happened to you. You can't help but worry that she will never be able to understand you. You wonder if she has got herself into any troubles. I know this is a short scene, but the audience must see a full range of emotions. You are capable of more, so be more. I know you attended drama school, so let's see that training shine. I know you can do it.
Excuse me, sir. Can I please have some more?
Yes, Director! I will try my best!
Simply being noticed by the famous director is enough to leave him visibly flustered. He immediately straightens up, shedding his nervous stance from moments before.
Let's roll it again.
Excuse me, Director Noir.
Seizing this moment before the next take, the assistant swoops in and whispers something to Noir. Noir glances toward the two officers, her face betraying no emotion. It's impossible to tell what she's thinking.
For someone that famous, you think I'd have known she uses a wheelchair. How you feeling? Finally getting a chance to meet your favorite director. Thrilled?
Woodie nudges Liang with her elbow, tilting forward a little as she teases her. But when she sees Liang's face, she pauses. Also, for real though, these artistic scenes are just so cool. I love this one too.
What's with the long face, kid? Where'd all your excitement go?
Aw.
Oh. Is it about the message you got?
Yes. It's just something that's bothering me.
Before Liang can explain, the subject of their discussion rolls toward them in her wheelchair.
Thanks for coming, officers. But I believe I've already explained that this was all just a misunderstanding.
Okay. Oh, there we go. We can actually see the wheelchair and stuff now. She's really cute. I love the little pin. The director's pin. And we've got her little puppet on her shoulder. They did say she manipulates puppets, right?
As you can see, I'm in perfect health. Well, ignoring these two.
She pats her legs with tearful laugh. It seems the director has no qualms about her physical condition, though it's hardly the kind of joke anyone else can comfortably laugh along to.
But according to your assistant, there's been someone stalking you for months, and they've recently sent you a threatening letter. So what? That all just misunderstandings too?
No.
I'm terribly sorry for inconveniencing you, officers. Lin is a very dedicated assistant, always looking out for me. She may have just overreacted to my situation. I don't mean to brag, but I've been in the limelight for long enough that I've seen my share of crazy fans. I'm used to it.
Sure, I get that. But about that letter you received, do you still have it?
Smart. Nora lets out a wry chuckle and shakes her head.
I'm afraid I don't have it anymore. I received so many letters. Most of them friendly, some of them not so much friendly. I've made a name in this industry, and a few enemies too. If I paid any attention to the negativity, it only dragged me down. I tend not to keep the bad ones around. Well, I'm sure you would do a fine job keeping me safe, officers. I can't let myself worry over it. Besides, what are they going to do? Break my kneecaps?
But for real. Not for this game. YouTube comments are amazing for this game. You guys are amazing. This community's been so cool. That's why I had to keep playing.
Frankly, the only thing I am worried about is that your presence is another distraction for my crew.
She casts a grateful and perhaps apologetic look around the set.
It's very much appreciated that you went out of your way to check in on me. But I have a movie to make. I can't disappoint my fans. Now, if you'll excuse me, we're burning daylight and I still have 4 more scenes to film. These Hollywood producers may have opened doors for me, but they also give me so many problems lately.
She smiles at the officers as if to signal the conversation's end.
Is this really just because of her movie?
Nora's already begun to turn her wheelchair away, but Liang stops her in her tracks.
Pardon me?
You seem to be refusing our assistance because you've decided this threat is only a harmless prank. You've decided that it's worth the risk to focus on your film.
I don't mean to judge your decision. It may be understandable in some cases.
She moves closer, lowering her voice as she leans in to deliver the next sentence in a hushed voice.
But if this threat is not just a prank, if it is serious...
Am I sensing disapproval?
Noir narrows her eyes a little and raises a hand to halt her approaching assistant. It's a good sign. Liang has earned the chance to talk for at least a little longer. She pushes aside her conflicting emotions and carries in a voice only the two of them can hear.
There has been an increase in patients coming from Chinatown showing signs of mental instability. Their symptoms include confusion, amnesia, drowsiness, and volatile anger. None of the patients seem to have anything in common. No prior history, all without a clear cause. Does that sound familiar?
Sorry. Is this leading somewhere?
After a moment of thought, Noir shakes her head, her calm face carrying a perfectly measured hint of confusion.
A case. 8 years ago.
Oh, what she found out from the files.
He Rijun, the scriptwriter for your first big hit, Detective CO7. She burned to death in her own house. However, the cleaners found a film reel in the debris, surprisingly intact after the fire.
Liang has been watching Noir's every expression. She doesn't miss the fleeting shift in her eyes at the mention of the film reel.
Strange, isn't it? Every other item was burnt to ash. Yet this one 8mm reel was as good as new. The cleaners felt the same way. So, being curious, they played the reel. 3 of the 5 who watched it ended up in an asylum. 1 jumped from a building. And the last, according to the reports, became like an empty shell of a person.
Oh god, this is getting dark. They're not kidding.
And what's happening here reminds you of that?
There are some commonalities between the cases. I can't ignore the possibility that they are related. 2 in particular stand out to me. The similar symptoms of those affected. And you. Hard to shake the thought that these are not coincidences.
Whispers spark among the crew as they eye this secret conversation.
What are the police still here for? Are we gonna get back to filming? Who knows? But it doesn't seem good. We are losing light here. Can these guys wrap it up already?
These murmurs, of course, don't escape Noir and Lang's notice, but when she speaks again, Noir's tone is far more direct.
Is that an accusation?
No, not at all. I'm just hoping you might be able to shed some light on our case.
Oh boy.
After our initial investigation, we officially recorded it as an ominous Arcanum incident and determined that the cause with that 8mm film reel, which contained a film titled Reunion of the 3 Swallows. To this day, however, the exact nature of the Arcanum hasn't been conclusively determined. We still aren't sure why it has this strange effect on people's minds, nor why the damage appears to be irreversible.
It's like anyone who watches this film gets fucked up. And that's why, like, maybe someone has been having people watch this in the neighborhood for some, like, to purposefully mess with the, I don't know.
Perhaps more importantly, we still don't know the origin behind the Arcanum on the reel. There are many possible causes that might create such an effect. One of the most common thought is from absorbing powerful emotions from an arcanist. The darkest emotions possess the strongest power. Anger, hatred, emotions so strong that they can outlast their bearer's death. Like a curse from beyond the grave, carrying out their last will as an obsession. And in such cases, these objects are sure to lead to disaster. I believe that this film is, undoubtedly, one such cursed item.
Cursed? Oh boy.
If it is the case that this film was involved in these new incidents, then we must find out what obsession it's carrying out and find a countermeasure.
I assume you're already on the case.
Indeed, I am, Miss Noah. I've been studying the report on the original case, including some of the theories of the original investigator. One of the theories suggests that, despite your collaboration on the SC07 series, there were many points of conflict between you and Miss He. In fact, the reports mention you had a violent quarrel with her on the day of the fire. There was even a question about whether you might have been responsible for her death. So, as you can see, I have more than a strong reason to believe you are connected. And if this cursed reel is behind these recent incidents...
Hollywood is dark, that would not surprise me.
I'm afraid that you may be the intended target of this curse.
Oh boy, wow. Okay, that got heavy and dark. I like it. Hot damn. Alright, so another day, but we're here continuing our number 8. Stage 8? I forget what they call these. Part of the story. Looks like we have a battle incoming. Finally, I need some more resources. And I'm testing it without my headphones to see if my mic is okay at picking it up or not. So, we'll see. Otherwise, I don't want it to pick it up.
Hot damn, rookie. Who could have guessed the famous director would be a part of her own real-life thriller?
Alright, sounds okay so far.
After talking to her, we still got nothing useful to go on. I can't read anything behind that smiling face of hers. But if your little theory has got any truth to it, then Noir is in real danger. So why not talk? Isn't she worried about her own life?
Poitier channels her frustration into her food, devouring most of the meal in a blink of an eye. As she swallows the last shrimp dumpling, she turns to look at Liang, who is busy chatting with the restaurant owner.
是吗？原来对面杂货店那家的女儿也……
就是咯，最近都不知道搞什么，好多街坊家里都出了事。老卢家还算好嘞，他带着女儿去看中医，抓了药，吃了一段时间就好了不少。但是对面街口马仔，他阿妈就麻烦了。那个阿婆原本就身体不好，忽然间又变得疯疯癫癫，他们两公婆都担心死了。之前都有个靓妹来问这件事，说什么事情不太对路。哎，我说呀，就是临近年关，那些污浊的东西都出来了。
您说还有人打听过这件事？那是什么人？
他说自己是什么新科学什么鬼事务所的，好像是个神婆，刚来到唐人街这一带的。
Neuroscience something。
他还给了我一張卡片，印得鬼馬六個，不過不知道俾我發。
原來如此，多謝您。
As Liang returns to her seat, Poitier shoots her questioning look.
So, any progress?
I have some bad news. First, there are more victims than we expected. Second, we're not the only ones who've noticed.
Oh boy.
We need to hurry if we don't want this case to attract wider attention.
Why don't we start with the director then? She seems like our best lead.
Having cleared the dishes closest to her, Poitier pulls the char siu buns from the other side of the table.
I've got a hunch her case is connected with this one. Just like you said, there are too many coincidences to not dig deeper. That writer, what was it? Huh, Ridgewine? She's an arcanist, right? No surprise that she'd imbue that film with all of her final bits of hatred. I've seen a dozen cases like it. Cursed objects are weird as heck. It's definitely possible that it could have chased Noir all the way here.
But there isn't any evidence that corroborates the rivalry between Miss Noah and Miss He.
Hold on. Didn't you read that in a report by another visual? Maybe it's only hearsay, but that's something. Not only that, get this. I did some digging of my own.
Yeah, she was
the night that cleaner leaped off that roof was the exact same night that Noir was in the car accident that left her legs paralyzed. It gets freakier. According to the reports, they happened within minutes of each other. And the building was less than a block away from the scene of the accident. How's that for evidence? We've got a saying in the DAA, Cadet. When it comes to Arcanum, there's no such thing as coincidences.
Yeah. With this declaration, Poitier pops the last chair of char siu buns in her mouth.
Whether coincidence or not, it isn't much to go on. We need evidence.
True.
Of course. We can't just leap to accusations without proof. But when it comes to arcane crime, you've got to follow your hunches. So keep your nose to the ground.
Poitier notices the dejection of Liang's face and sheepishly sets down her chopsticks.
I get you. This isn't just about evidence. You don't want to point the finger at someone you admire. But you've got to pursue this. Even if that means you have to separate the artist from their work.
I feel like the opposite. She's the one who's like, we have to take this seriously. Liang remains silent for a moment, picks up the chilled lemon soda from the table and takes a sip.
Actually, there is another reason that I'm not entirely convinced that Miss Noah, the film incident, and the events in Chinatown are connected.
Oh, she's having different thoughts. Okay.
In fact, it's quite a substantial reason. If our records are correct, the cursed reel was found and contained by the Foundation 6 months after the initial incident. Which means, unless something has gone horribly wrong, it should still be safely stored within the Arcanum Containment Department.
Oh. A sharp crash interrupts her words. The two turn toward the sound.
Oops, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
A bespectacled girl fumbles with a napkin as she hurriedly tries to clean up the shattered dish she just knocked over. But her sneaking glances toward the two officers don't escape their attention, and the shiny emblem on her chest tells them exactly where she's from.
Well.
They exchange a puzzled look.
If I remember it right, you mentioned earlier that you saw someone from the Foundation acting suspicious yesterday.
Yes. Like the lady over there. She also works for the ACD.
Guess we'll have a talk with her.
I agree, Miss Poitier.
They rise from the table and approach the girl. Oh boy. Are approaching the girl is attacking her? Why are we fighting her? Bruh.
It's an honor to meet you.
Is something the matter, officers? You seem to have overheard our conversation. Was there anything in it you might want to know about? Will you welcome any leads you might have, and even offer a reward for any help solving the case? No, I didn't hear anything. This is all happening so suddenly. I have urgent business to attend. Please understand, officers. There's no need to worry, ma'am. You seemed a bit flustered. Here, why don't you come sit down and we'll have a nice chat. Yes, I'm sure there's a way we can help each other.
Whose heart is beating
By
so loud?
attacking each other.
Calms people down. It seems to be mixed up. Radio waves are everywhere. It should be fine, right? Everywhere.
Turning audio down during the battles.
I trickled the ingredients this time.
Look at all those poison and burn stacks. Okay, we're getting there. How many stacks of poison can we get? It looks like I have 3 different debuffs plus up to 3 right now for stack. So how, I wonder what that is with their full poison team. I don't actually know what the stack limits are.
It's called common sense. Stay low.
Okay, volume back up after the battle.
I don't want to be shot.
Under Liang and Poitier's relentless questioning, the suspicious Foundation member ultimately surrenders.
All right,
That was
all
us
right.
questioning
I'll
her.
tell. But only to you, since you're a vigil, but she isn't, right? Sorry, I should really only disclose this info to other Foundation members.
She shoots a cautious glance at Poitier. Poitier says nothing, simply raised her chin at Liang in approval. Boy. Liang follows the girl into the empty alley. After verifying Liang's identity with her communication device, the girl gives a final glance up and down the alley before talking.
There's no one I would trust more than a vigil, Miss Liang. I'm here on a mission for the Foundation, and you might be able to help me with it.
She's so cute. I love her.
September 1990. A female arcanist committed a serious assault and caused a number of casualties. She had appeared at an illegal gathering held by the Order of Enlightenment, a subordinate organization of Manes Vindicte.
The Order of Enlightenment sounds like a cult.
The Timekeeper encountered her and confirmed her identity. Anjo Nala, a Beyond Arcanist. Born sometime in the 19th century, she was sealed inside a wind-up toy in the year 1968. Since then, she has become a lethal weapon that must obey whoever possesses her toy. But back in 1985, I mean, the real 1985, that toy had been safely stored in an Arcanum containment department as a dangerous item.
Until it was stolen.
You were involved in that particular inventory check. There are 4 additional items that are now lost aside from number 066. The circumstances of the last storm, and that devastating spell threw our whole organization into chaos. However, there's no excuse for failing to uphold our department's most crucial mission. Fortunately, it appears that our break-in was committed by a single culprit.
I heard what you and your partner just said. It's about all the weird things that happen in Chinatown, right? It was my mission to catch Latham and retrieve all the arcane objects she'd stolen before they caused more damage. But I guess it's already too late for that.
The meaning behind these words is crystal clear. There's no room for Liang to feel ignorant, or to feign ignorance.
You're saying that...
Yes, the cursed reel from the incident you mentioned was among the stolen items. And you said that you have some clue about its current whereabouts?
The cursed film reel, reunion of the 3 swallows, is in Chinatown. The weight of this revelation sinks heavily in Liang's chest.
I was told to operate under strict secrecy. But at this point, the faster they're retrieved, the better. So, shall we work together?
I like her. She's cute. Let's do it. Scott takes a notebook from her pocket and pulls out a photo tucked inside.
Our main suspect is Latham, an awakened arcanist.
Loggerhead. She's so cute, too. It's funny. Oh boy. Liang can't help but look surprised when she recognizes the other girl in the photograph. But Scott seems to misinterpret her reaction.
It's hard for me to believe she'd do this. We were colleagues and close friends. I used to call her Loggerhead because she's the most forgetful person I know. At first, I refused to believe she could do such a thing. I still don't understand why. She's not the kind to be greedy. But the Vigils investigated the theft thoroughly, and the Vigils are not the kind to make mistakes. You've been here a few days already, right? Have you had any word about where she might be?
Scott's brow furrows, her expression torn between hope and fear. It's as if she wants confirmation while equally dreading to hear the truth.
Sorry, I haven't.
She shakes her head. Scott's expression visibly relaxes.
Oh, what a pity.
To be continued. Okay, that was 8. Alright, post-lunch questioning has a document here. This document contains confidential information. Please do not take it out of the precincts. Investigation record. Noir. Noir, female arcanist. Her arcane skill allows her to manipulate inanimate objects within a defined range, designating them as actors. Born in Hong Kong in 1950, graduated from USC School of Cinematic Arts in 1972, later worked at what would eventually become known as TBB. In 1978, she began collaborating with independent production companies to produce low-budget films. Released her debut film Muddle in 1979. Sorry, the music's so loud. Established New Art Company in 1980 and began working on the film Detective C07. In 1983, a car accident left her paralyzed from the waist down, allegedly tied to Film Incident 1. For more details on Film Incident, please refer to the attached documentation. Where's the attached documentation? You can't just leave me hanging. It's fine. Alright, let's keep going. Let's do 9 and 10. Story. We have another battle along the way. So just be a long one. It's okay, I've got beer. It's Friday. Ain't got nowhere to be.
Have a good day.
Alright, before the owner can even say goodbye, Yang has yanked Poitier out of the front door.
What's the rush? I haven't even finished my noodles.
We can eat later, but we need to find Miss Latham now.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Hold on. I'm all for chasing down a crook. But why do I get the feeling you didn't tell your Foundation friend about your run-in with Latham?
How'd she know?
What's up? Why are you keeping her in the dark?
I think that something isn't right about her.
I mean, she's got a camera as her head.
I've been to the city before. To most, it might seem defenseless, but it's actually heavily protected by arcane rituals. According to Miss Scott, Latham acted alone. But there's nothing in her file that would suggest she's capable of that. Her arcane skill level is frankly far from remarkable. Even with insider knowledge, I don't believe it's possible she could have bypassed the security system and escaped on her own.
Okay. So you don't believe little Miss Reporter Scott girl? Maybe she's hiding something?
Either Miss Latham has blamed the Foundation for fools, or she has more powerful accomplices.
Oh.
That leads me to another thing. This mission is not something a typical Foundation staff member would be assigned to, as Miss Scott claimed to be.
So everyone thinks Miss
There's
Scott's hiding something.
Know.
You're saying that girl with glasses lied to you?
Maybe. Or that she was being lied to herself.
That's true. She thinks she's on a certain case, but really there's a lot more to it. Liang pulls her SPF-1 contact device from beneath her cloak. After a few simple taps, she turns it around for Poitier to see.
There was another thing I found while searching through Miss Latham's files. Or rather, what I didn't find. There were no warnings or notices on her employee records.
You mean she's not actually wanted?
No, I don't think so. Miss Scott said that their department wanted to solve this problem in secret. So I thought that might explain the reason Miss Latham's warrant wasn't on her file.
That's fair.
However, when I tried to access more of their records to double-check my findings, I ran into a block on Miss Scott's records.
Oh.
Access denied. You do not have permission to view this information. If you need access, please contact your supervisor.
So maybe Miss Scott is a super high ranking individual just posing as this innocent little Foundation minion. A warning symbol flashes on the screen.
It could just be because I'm only a cadet. There are some files that I don't have access to yet. I contacted my supervisor, but I haven't heard anything
back. Or maybe
back.
she's the one who's wanted and it's super high, fancy classified information that's very sensitive. They don't want just anyone pursuing it? God. Cute little innocent Miss Glasses girl. I feel like... I don't know, I always like a nerdy girl with glasses.
I don't mean to distrust her, but I can't hold anyone above suspicion.
Poitier shifts her gaze from the device's screen back to Liang.
And what about me? You're putting a lot of trust in me, Liang. Is it really alright that you're telling me all this?
Not supposed to.
A dangerous item stolen from the Foundation, and possibly an inside job at that. That's a scandal in the making. You could have just lied to me, make up some kind of story. It's not hard for a smart kid like you.
We're partners, right? Liang gives Poitier a puzzled look.
Why would I? We're partners, Miss Poitier. Hiding information from you wouldn't be right. You told me that yourself, didn't you?
Exactly. She gets it.
Me?
Yes. The first day we were on duty together, you said you need to know what makes me tick.
I did, didn't I?
Poitier seems a little dazed. Liang looks at her, sincerity behind her eyes.
I've reconsidered it, and you're right. During my training as a vigil, our instructor emphasized many times that trusting our partner was of vital importance. And you, Miss Poitier, have proven to be capable, decisive, and compassionate.
Aww.
I have developed a deep respect for your work.
Aww.
We share the same goal, to discover the truth behind the incidents happening in Chinatown. I can't think of any reason why I shouldn't cooperate with you.
Aww.
Alright, enough! I'm blushing already.
So cute. Poitier cuts Liang off, almost flustered.
Damn, girl. I didn't expect my meek little mouse to turn into this.
This what?
Forget it. You've made your point. Now stop it.
Poitier waves a hand, signaling the conversation's end.
But you kinda missed my point. I'm worrying that the Foundation is gonna punish you for leaking classified information. Won't you get in trouble?
Though I may be a vigil of the Foundation, before that, I am the descendant of the Liang family. I'm obliged to do all that is necessary to fulfill my destiny. And given the circumstances, I think providing all relevant information that might assist us in catching the thief and retrieving the threatening arcane objects is worth bending the rules. Just...
Oop, I cut it off, sorry. Despite her conviction, Liang can't help but hesitate a little.
Besides, I'm not under any orders to keep this a secret, so...
Cheeky. And you say you don't like bending the rules. I see
I'll
you,
see you, boo. I love that.
And I like it. Come on, let's work this out together. Partner.
Aww. I love it. Hotel room?
Which one is my room again? Oh, right. I wrote it down. Let me see.
Oh,
there it is. Now the key card. Where did I put it? Oh, here. Home sweet home. Oh, I'm exhausted.
The camera-headed girl freezes in place. Two officers are standing in her sweet home.
Latham, right? It's been a while.
We have some questions for you. Please try to cooperate.
Liang steps forward and closes the door on her behalf. This is good. It's interesting. Oh god, why are we questioning people by fighting? Okay, weird, whatever, but silly.
Wow. So many things that I haven't seen.
What are you doing in my room? This is a serious criminal offense. Get out of my room or I'm calling the police. The phone. It's right here in my hand. No need for that. I am the police. What? You're that vigil from the hospital. I was sure I had shaken off this person. So what do you want with me? I think you already know the answer to that.
Behold, this camera that will record the world.
I love that. Their animations are so fun. For being like a little chibi cutesy attack game, they make the animations really fun.
Zoom in. Found it.
And like good effects, they're clever.
I've already said that Sotheby doesn't need a bodyguard.
I know you say that every time. When an unsuspecting prey steps into a carefully laid trap, the outcome is already decided.
All right, fine. I'll tell you everything. It was me, okay? They said I stole those arcane objects and sold them for money. Well, maybe I did. Ouch!
As she speaks, she backs closer and closer to the wall behind her until she smacks her oversized head into the window ledge. A particular word in her statement makes Liang tilt her head.
What do you mean, maybe?
Maybe. I feel like she's being forced to say this.
Because, actually, I can't remember it. I can't find my memory film for that time, so really, I just don't know.
Aw. That's sad.
Memory film.
Okay, I like her. She's interesting. This so-called loggerhead girl and awakened isn't exactly a tough one. Within 30 minutes, she's spilled everything. Yet, despite this seemingly ideal result, neither of the officers look pleased.
So, to summarize what you just said, Latham, you're an awakened piece of a movie projector, which forms a Latham loop. You were designed to play movies, not record them. And that's why you suffer from severe amnesia. You can only recall things that happened within the last 3 days. And after that, you'll forget almost everything. Do I got that right?
I guess so.
You guess so?
Poitier's sudden questioning startles the girl as she shrinks further into the corner, wedging herself between the window and the nearby chair.
I can see why that friend of yours calls you Loggerhead. You deserve the name. What is going on here?
It's understandable. Awakened arcanists often suffer side effects related to their origins and materials, but still, this is quite unusual, to say the least. So, she has no memory of what happened 3 days ago, or even any of the cases she was involved in. So then, she's basically useless to our investigation. I can only imagine what a disaster it would be if you showed up in a Detective CO7 movie.
Hey, that's rude. How come I'm a disaster?
The girl, mustering what little courage she has left, waves her metal fists in defiance. But her feeble resistance has no effect on the officers. After sighing in unison, they exchange a glance.
What do you think?
I've made a request for Miss Latham's detailed records, but I don't think she's lying.
I had to adjust it. Oh god, my audio's gonna be fucked. Sorry, guys. I had to adjust a couple times.
Back at the hospital, the best lie she could come up with was a hamster riding a stethoscope. I kind of doubt she's a master manipulator.
Wish she could be tasked to do something where you're just like... Just make her do it because she ain't gonna remember anyway. Right? Alright, unraveling the mystery. 10.
Let me sort things out. Miss Loggerhead, you said you could record and save your memories using a special type of film developed by Laplace, which means that even if you don't recall taking anything from the Arcanum Containment Department,
Could have been.
your film should show whether you did or not.
Oh.
But the fact is, the films are gone. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I usually carry my most important memories with me and leave the others in my room. The Foundation staff checked the visitor log after the stuff was stolen. Turns out I was the only one who visited the office that day. So they sent people to my room and checked all my film, but they didn't find anything. Then they said they already had other evidence, so...
Loggerhead's voice trails off, and something else completes her words. Or someone
So they
else.
just declared Loggerhead guilty. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Something must be wrong.
The Foundation employee who claimed to be hunting Loggerhead received a call from Liang just 10 minutes ago. But the moment she stepped into the clue-filled hotel room and laid eyes on Loggerhead, she blurted out, "You're still here?" And just like that, the final piece of Loggerhead's testimony was confirmed. The two girls sitting on the bed lower their heads in silence, silent understanding.
So, when you found Miss Latham, you bought her a train ticket instead of putting her under arrest.
I know I've gone against orders, but I'm sure Loggerhead didn't do this. She's my friend. I can't just arrest her and have the Foundation lock her up. I'm sorry for keeping all of this from you, but you're a vigil. I had to be careful. So, if it's not crossing a line, Miss Liang, Miss Potier, can I ask you to keep this between us? You can report it after we find out who's really done this.
So she's not bad, she just was trying to protect her friend. Aw, I thought she seemed too innocent to be like a mastermind or something.
Could you?
She's smart.
Please?
Scott's eyes gleam pleadingly, and Loggerhead's lens gleams as she stares at the officer's expectation. The pitiful expressions on both their faces would tug anyone's heartstring. Liang almost feels as though she's tormenting some kind of harmless creature. But this unofficial interrogation isn't over yet.
We'll talk about that once we figure out what the hell's going on. Back to the case. You said she gave you a train ticket. What are you still doing here?
Fair question. She lets out an awkward laugh.
Actually, while I was on my way to the train station, a car on the other side of the street lost control and hit my cab. Thankfully, it crashed into the passenger seat where I was sitting. My metal's much stronger than human flesh.
Liang searches her memory for a moment.
That's right. There was a car accident yesterday morning. The driver suffered some kind of unknown mental abnormality while he was on the road. Maybe he's fallen victim too. What happened next?
I was sent to the hospital, and you showed up. I thought you were gonna arrest me, so I ran as fast as I could. I threw away my cell phone and contact device as soon as I left the Foundation. Scott said they could use them to track me down. I couldn't get a hold of anyone and didn't know what to do. And even though I don't know for sure, I really don't think I'm guilty. It's super weird to be on the run when you feel like you're innocent.
It's so weird. So
I
complicated.
went back to Chinatown to ask Director Noir for help. She was the only one I could contact directly.
She very well could have been forced or manipulated to do something terrible, and she has no idea. A crucial name.
Noah. Could you tell me how you got to know her?
Of course. Let me see. Walk of Fame. Walk of Fame. Okay. Now I just need to turn left. Wait, which way is left again? It changes every time I turn, right? Gosh, how the heck do people read maps?
Are you alright? It seems you could use some help.
Noir stopped to help me. She was really interested in my head, so we had a little chat, and I found out she was a director. She offered to take me to the Walk of Fame. We talked a lot about movies on our way there. Then I told her I was traveling alone, so she invited me to join her movie shoot in Chinatown. How could I say no? I mean, she's a famous director. There's no way I'd miss a chance like that.
Interesting. That was the same day that odd things started happening in Chinatown.
The head that was bobbing excitedly comes to a hesitant stop.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Did anything strange happen that day?
Loggerhead's lens flickers. It seems something had surfaced in her mind.
Let me see. I did find a strange film reel when I was unpacking that night.
The cursed one.
A strange film reel.
Wait, could that be...
All three of the others immediately perk up at the mention of those words. But perhaps due to the limited field of vision in her camera lens, Loggerhead remains oblivious to their gazes. Instead, she pulls her backpack toward her, muttering to herself as she leisurely rummages through it.
Yeah, a strange film reel. I've gotten into the habit of labeling my films like check every day or check from time to time, so that I know what to watch to keep important things in my mind. I was gonna do a review that night, but when I looked through my film, there was a roll without a label on it. It couldn't have been mine because it was made of a different material. I was so curious about it, you know? So I played it.
Oh god.
What did you see?
It was a movie, I guess, but it was pretty short. More like a demo or a trailer or something. But it was so weird. Like a jumble of pictures and sounds. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't know, maybe it was a prank or something?
She halts her search and looks up blankly.
What's wrong?
The film, it's gone.
What?
Loggerhead shrinks nervously once again.
I can't find it. It was right here in my bag.
Give it to me.
In one swift motion, Poitier snatches Loggerhead's backpack and upends it, contents onto the bed.
Damn, first time I've seen a bag messier than my sister's. Do you ever organize your stuff?
Like a whirlwind. I mean, if you dump it upside down, it's not organized anymore. Logic. Like a whirlwind, Poitier tears through Loggerhead's things, ignoring her shrieks of, "I just forgot to throw that away. I still need that," as she ransacks not only the backpack, but her entire room. Finally, she has no choice but to accept a rather disheartening conclusion.
Nope. You didn't take it out and lose it somewhere, did you? Mistake it for a tip for your pizza guy or something.
I forget things, but I'm not an idiot. I didn't lose it. Check my film if you want to prove it. It just disappeared into thin air.
But your film only records what you saw. Someone might have taken it when you weren't looking. Does anyone else know about this film reel? Did you have any visitors or notice anything suspicious after you played it?
Suspicious? I don't think so. At least I didn't see anything. The only person who visited me afterwards was Scott. She came to tell me I was wanted by the Foundation. Oh, but actually I wasn't alone when I played it. Noir was with me. She said she was interested in my memories, so she came and...
Oh god, the others stare at Loggerhead as if she's grown a second head. She nervously swallows the rest of her sentence.
What's wrong?
So, it was Noir who took the film?
Oh boy.
What are you? Ugh.
A solid punch sends the man flying. At least that's what was supposed to happen.
Sorry, Director. I'll try again.
Don't bother. Clearly, your martial arts skills are severely lacking. I don't want you to hit your head when you fall to the ground. Go. Take a break.
The disheveled actor still wants to argue his case, but everyone knows that once the director makes his decision, she won't change her mind easily. In the end, he simply sighs and stepped aside.
That was the last one, Director. There are far fewer stunt performers with martial arts experience here than in Hong Kong. Master Lau and his men will arrive in a few days. Perhaps we could shoot the scene then?
Nicholas is on a tight schedule. I doubt he'll change it. Let me see what I can do.
A single sentence is far from enough to capture the many difficulties the famous Hong Kong director has faced since working overseas. Leaning back in her wheelchair, she discreetly scans the set, searching for the missing piece of the puzzle.
Her again?
Lin follows Nora's gaze.
Oh, that young officer?
What do you want? Listen, I don't know what you are trying to do, but can't you just leave us alone? Sorry, ma'am. This is a closed set. If you don't have a warrant, please leave.
Guys, relax. Liang isn't as mean as she seems.
Clearly the arrival of a certain vigil cadet is unwelcome, so much so that even Loggerhead is being eyed with suspicion. But Liang ignores them. She's locked onto her target the moment she scanned the set, is already striding straight toward her. She stops a few paces in front of the person in question.
I must say, I didn't expect to see you so soon, officer. Is there something else you wanted to ask me? I think I made myself perfectly clear this morning. I know nothing about your case.
No, madam. I'm here to help.
Help with what?
Miss Latham mentioned that you are looking for a qualified stunt performer for your movie. I'd like to help with that, if you don't mind. As an apology.
Noir blinks.
You surprised me again.
That's where it ends? Oh my goodness, okay. I want to keep going, so many things. Alright, let's see what this little note is about. Double check. Okay, I admit. I have always been a movie buff. Great, we hit a dead end. Just what exactly did we miss? Maybe we should go over the items in Loggerhead's bag again. Loggerhead, seriously? She packed all these film reels but somehow missed the most important one. Look at this. She's planning to open a video store? So many movie reels. Hey Liang, one of these are in Chinese, right? Yes sir, that's sir. The Human Fighters. Here's Miss Vampire and the Troubled Lunatics. Classic Hong Kong films, but it's unclear if these were Loggerhead's collection or gifts from Director Noir. Good grief, we need to watch all these? We don't have that kind of time. No, I don't think so. These are just regular film reels, and their stories aren't related to our investigation. I almost forgot you used to sneak around and watch movies behind your parents' back. Your knowledge is broader than I thought. So, other than SC07, which one here is your favorite? Our time is running out. Ugh, dull as ever, I knew it. But if we wrap this up quick, you should watch Miss Vampire. It's a hallmark of Hong Kong Arcanum films. Oh, I'll remember that. We've gone through the bag, but the missing reel isn't here. Perhaps it's time for us to try something else. Yeah, let's hear what our big shot director has to say. Well, that was before what we had did. It's fine. Alright, so that leads us to the next set of battles! Alright, well, ending this video at 10 makes sense, so I will stop there. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me while I get to know the story. I hope you're enjoying reliving it if you've already played, and I will see you in the next video.